Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Michael has spent months carrying the weight of secrets, betrayals, and manipulations. Now, across the next 3 weeks in Port Charles, he finally decides enough is enough. He's ready to strike back, and he knows exactly where to apply pressure. The key to his leverage is Willow. For so long, Willow has been caught in the middle of family wars, mob entanglements, and corporate battles. But Michael has realized that if he leans on the love and loyalty Willow inspires, he can turn the tables on his enemies. The question isn't whether Michael has the courage to make his move. The real question is whether the others around him, his family, his rivals, and even Willow herself, are prepared for the fallout once he unleashes the plan he's been quietly building. The energy in the Quartermain mansion is shifting. Every glance, every whispered word behind closed doors feels heavier. Michael has been quiet, letting others think he's softened, distracted, or even defeated. But behind that calm exterior is strategy. He's been taking notes, watching alliances form and crumble, and waiting for the perfect moment to reveal what he knows. He's not just targeting one person. He's creating a ripple effect that could shake Sunny, Nina, and even Valentine. And the name he keeps returning to when he plots out his moves is Willow. Michael sees her as more than the woman he loves. She is a symbol of family unity, of resilience, and, most importantly, of loyalty. That's why he's planning to use the truth of Willow's position in his life as both shield and sword. But Michael isn't the only one planning something that could change the power dynamics. Across town, Britt is making choices that even those closest to her would never have predicted. To most of Port Charles, Britt appears aimless, lost, or simply caught between a longing for connection and the shadows of her past. But in the next 3 weeks, her actions will prove otherwise. She is working for Nathan, or at least working in Nathan's memory, honoring his influence in ways that nobody expected. Britt's every move will start making sense when people realize she isn't drifting. She's strategizing. She has ties that connect her to family loyalty, to revenge, and to justice, and she's about to step out of the background into the forefront. Michael's strike-back plan begins subtly. He doesn't want his enemies to know they're being cornered until it's too late. That's why he's careful about how he frames his conversations with Willow. At first, he tells her only fragments. He wants her support but not her fear. He knows Willow can't stomach outright manipulation, so he frames it as protecting their family, protecting the children, protecting the home they've built. Willow, ever devoted, nods, torn but supportive. But under the surface, she can sense Michael's intensity. She wonders what lines he's willing to cross and whether she'll still recognize him when this fight is over. What Michael doesn't realize is that his enemies are just as watchful. Sunny is beginning to suspect that Michael's silence has been too calculated. Nina feels that the peace she thought she gained with Willow is more fragile than ever. Valentine, always cautious, reads Michael's eyes and sees the same look he himself wears when plotting an attack. In the next 3 weeks, these suspicions will build. Each of them will start testing Michael in their own ways, trying to bait him into showing his hand. But Michael has the advantage. He's already decided that when he strikes, he won't hold back. Meanwhile, Britt's story runs on a parallel track but intersects in surprising places. She's haunted by Nathan's absence, yet she draws strength from remembering how he always stood for what was right, even if it cost him everything. Nathan's memory guides her now. She's aligning herself with causes and people Nathan would have supported. That's why she finds herself drawn into conversations with Maxie, pulled toward decisions that pit her against shady players in Port Charles. When Britt reveals that she's been quietly gathering information and using Nathan's legacy as her compass, people around her are stunned. They thought she was lost in grief. Instead, she's preparing for action. And this is where Britt and Michael's arcs unexpectedly brush against each other. Michael, in trying to secure leverage, discovers pieces of information that Britt has been holding. It's not intentional on her part. She didn't set out to align with Michael, but the overlap between her mission for Nathan and Michael's mission for Willow creates a shared path. Suddenly, Michael realizes he may have an ally in someone he never considered trustworthy before. But can Britt be counted on? Her loyalty is to Nathan's ideals, not to Michael personally. That creates both opportunity and risk. The cooperation could be explosive, or it could collapse if either of them decides their priorities no longer align. Over the course of the next 3 weeks, Michael's use of Willow as leverage starts rippling outward. His conversations with her influence the way she interacts with others. Willow's hesitations, her guardedness, and even her rare flashes of defiance all begin to alert people around her that something is shifting. Nina notices it first, sensing that Willow's calm demeanor hides something sharper beneath. Sunny, always attuned to subtle emotional currents, starts piecing together that Michael is steering Willow into positions where she becomes a buffer in family disputes. What they don't fully grasp yet is that Willow's presence is the bait, the leverage, the shield that makes Michael's enemies hesitate to strike back as hard as they want to. Britt, meanwhile, is piecing together a puzzle of her own. She's working late nights, making phone calls she doesn't explain, and meeting with people under the radar. Some of those meetings tie directly into Michael's warpath. She learns things about Valentine's dealings, about Nina's vulnerabilities, and even about Sunny's current blind spots. Though she's motivated by honoring Nathan, the intel she gathers feeds directly into Michael's growing strategy. Slowly, Britt becomes more than just a grieving sister or an overlooked doctor. She becomes week by week. In the first week, Michael's hints are quiet. He positions Willow as his foundation, dropping suggestive remarks that unsettle Nina and Sunny but don't give away his entire plan. In the second week, the pressure ramps up. Michael starts moving pieces more visibly, and Britt takes a bold step by confronting someone directly in Nathan's name. By the third week, the energy explodes. Michael finally strikes in a way that cannot be ignored. He uses Willow not as a pawn but as a shield, putting her at the center of a public confrontation that leaves Sunny and Nina scrambling. At the same time, Britt's actions culminate in a reveal that she's been working all along with Nathan's voice guiding her, and the people of Port Charles have no choice but to see her in a new light. Michael's strike back isn't clean. There are consequences. Willow, though loyal, starts questioning whether Michael is protecting her or using her. Sunny, furious, feels betrayed by his own son all over again. Nina, shaken, realizes her connection to Willow may never heal if Michael has his way. Valentine calculates whether to retaliate or adapt. And Britt, unexpectedly, finds herself standing with Michael at a crossroads. She realizes that honoring Nathan may mean aligning with Michael for longer than she ever planned. That choice will set her on a path that defines not just her next 3 weeks, but her entire role in the future of Port Charles. This isn't just about revenge or leverage. It's about Michael stepping fully into the role of strategist, no longer the quiet son, no longer the background player. And it's about Britt transforming from a woman in mourning to a force in her own right, one whose loyalty to Nathan's ideals makes her a wild card no one can dismiss. Over the next 3 weeks, every whispered word, every tense exchange, every unexpected alliance feeds into this bigger storm. And by the time it settles, Port Charles will not look the same. Michael's strike back and Britt's mission will reshape alliances, fracture families, and redefine what loyalty truly means in a town where loyalty is everything. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.